Welcome to the world of English 4. There are different fun activities that we will work on together so that at the end of the lesson, you will be able to note significant details in various text types. Are you all excited to learn our lesson for today? Before we start, let's find out how much you know about our lesson. You see, children, being able to understand what we read is an important part of learning. Identifying the important details from a text is the first step. Can you still recall the lesson we learned the last time? It's about finding the meanings of words using the dictionary, the thesaurus, and other online resources. Why don't we review our past lesson briefly? Identify if the words can be related to the dictionary, thesaurus, or online resources. Get ready with your pen and paper, children. Number 1, it's synonyms. For number 2, Google search. And now, number 3, it's meaning. Next one is pronunciation. And for the last one, it's Mozilla Firefox. So, are you thrilled to know your scores? The first answer is thesaurus. We can find synonyms of words in thesaurus. The answer for number 2 is online resources. Yes, Google search is an example of online resources. For number 3, the answer is dictionary. We can find the meanings of words in a dictionary. For the fourth item, the answer is also dictionary. We can also find the pronunciation of words when we use the dictionary. And finally, number 5, the answer is online resources. Mozilla Firefox is a web browser we can use to find online resources. Hey, listen! Did you hear a bell? I think it's time for our reading time. Today, we are going to read a particular text type for reading time. I want you to note the significant details that we will encounter as we read along. You have to listen carefully, kids, because we are going to answer few questions about it after it's read. Junk food. To eat or not to eat by Leah E. Basquinas. Junk food is unhealthy. That is not new to us. It's greasy, fatty, and if eaten regularly, definitely won't help anyone stay healthy. However, as unhealthy as it may seem, it is still one of those temptations that seems hard to say no to. But if you want to stick to a healthy lifestyle, then eating junk food must not be one of your choices. Keep your body healthy all the time. Stop eating junk food because there are no vitamins in it. It can never help you maintain a good and healthy body. Instead of eating junk food, there is a lot of nutritious food that can help your body become healthier. These other types of foods can make us healthy. Ask yourself this: will I let junk food tempt me or not? Well, it's our choice. Temptations are hard to fight, but in the end, you will be rewarded with the health you have been taking care of. Here are the questions that we will answer to check your comprehension. First question: what is the paragraph all about? If your answer is, it is about junk food, you are correct. Number 2 question: is junk food bad for our health? Why? If your answer is yes, it is bad for our health, you are right. Because junk food is unhealthy. How does junk food affect our health? If you say that junk food can ruin our body, you're right again. What are the types of food that we need to eat? Do I hear the nutritious ones? Great going, kids! And for the last question, why is there a need to eat healthy food? I think we need to eat healthy food in order for us not to be sick. What do you think? Now that we're done answering the comprehension checkup, let us see how much you learned by looking at your scores. If you got 4 to 5, then you are great. You can advance to the next lesson. If you got 2 to 3, then you have to read more to improve your comprehension. But if you got 0 to 1, it's all right. Don't worry, there's always room for improvement.
Don't you worry, 'cause you can do it. You just need more time to get it. I can prove it, you can do it. Improvement is waving at you.
Oh, before I forget, there's something we have to take note of. The text type we just read is an exposition. Let us now proceed to our next activity. Ready? An exposition puts forward an argument or a particular point of view. We can note significant details in its text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. Read the various text types and note significant details by answering the questions. Write your answers on your answer sheets. Letter A. Almost everybody has pets in their houses. Some are domesticated, others are wild and endangered. I have lots of pets at home like dogs, birds, pigs, chicks, and roosters. Among all of them, my cat is my favorite. Her eyes are blue and she has a pointed nose and sensitive ears. Her fur is white and gold. Her name is Kuri. I named it after the main girl character Kuri in Samurai X manga. Kuri is a sweet, fat-bellied cat. Fried chicken and chicken pork adobo are her favorite things to eat. My pet is a friendly cat because she doesn't catch mice and she plays with our dog Tango. Here are the questions that you will answer for the comprehension checkup. Number 1. What is the pet described in the paragraph? If your answer is a cat, then you got it. For number 2, why is the pet cat the favorite of the author? If your answer is because the cat is friendly, has blue eyes, a pointed nose, and has sensitive ears, fantastic! You're really smart! The question for number 3 is, who is the pet cat being named after? If the main girl character Kuri in Samurai X manga is what you have in mind, that's super! You're really improving, kids! Thumbs up! You were done answering this activity. There's also one thing I'd like you to bear in mind. The last text type we just read is a description. A description tells the characteristic of a particular thing. We can note significant details on a text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. Another activity is prepared for you. Happy answering! The fairy tale entitled Cinderella is a story of Cinderella who is always humiliated by her stepmother and her two stepsisters. She is treated like a nanny, and when Prince Charming invited every woman to join the ball, Cinderella was the only woman left in the house crying, until her fairy godmother rescued her from the misery. Her fairy godmother finds ways so that she can attend to the ball, but there is one thing that she was reminded to do. Cinderella needs to be home before the clock strikes midnight. Cinderella went to the ball and danced all night with Prince Charming that she did not even notice that it was midnight. She hurriedly went home and left one glass shoe at the palace. The next morning, Prince Charming let every woman try to fit the shoe until he reached Cinderella's house. He let her try to fit the shoe, and it slid it easily. Prince Charming and Cinderella got married and lived happily ever after. The story tells us there is a rainbow always after the rain. That whatever problem and sadness that come along the way, there is always happiness that awaits in the end. Did you like the story? Me too. So, let's answer the questions to see if you really understood the story. Question number 1. Who is the main character in the story? If your answer is Cinderella, excellent, you are correct. Number 2 question is, how did Cinderella go to the ball? If your thinking is through the help of her fairy godmother, marvelous, you got it again. The last question, why do you think Cinderella was always humiliated by her stepmother and stepsisters? If your reason for her stepmother and stepsisters humiliating her is because they envy her, you're right. I am proud of you. As we get closer to the end of our lesson, there are things that we really have to bear in mind. It is a response. A response is used to summarize, analyze, and respond to a literary text. A response may be a review or personal response. We can now note significant details on its text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. I know you are as eager as I am to answer the next activity. So what are we waiting for? Let's get it on! Renil Barameda, the new elementary school principal 1 of Upper Bonga Elementary School, gave his first talk to the pupils and the teaching and non-teaching staff of Upper Bonga Elementary School during his first day of service last June 23, 2019. He stated his mission and vision on how to make the school more conducive to learning. He emphasized that there should be a balance of time for academics and co-curricular activities. Furthermore, he gave light to the fact that instruction and physical facilities will surely benefit the learners. New school head, new leadership. But let us not forget the former leader who honed Upper Bonga Elementary School for 4 years, said Mr. Renil V. Barameda, the new principal. Let's see if you can answer the comprehension checkup for this text type. Number 1. Who is the new principal of Upper Bonga Elementary School? If your answer is Renil Barameda, then you're excellent. Second question, when was his first day of service? Do we have the same answer? It was last June 23, 2019. You got it! What is his mission and vision statement? Answer is, his mission and vision statement emphasizes a balance of time for academics and co-curricular activities. Then, I am proud of you. An information report is used to present information about something. It describes an entire class of things, whether natural or man-made. We can note significant details on its text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. So, what kind of text did we just read? It is an information report. We are getting closer and closer to the end of our lesson, children. I would suggest that you recall all the lessons we have studied to improve your skills. Here is another activity. I want you to listen and note all the significant details in our next activity. Then, answer the questions that follow. Write your answers on your answer sheets. Why is washing our hands important? Hand washing makes our hands clean if washed properly. By using germicidal soap and clean water, it will make our hands free from any form of germs. The germicidal soap should stay on our hands for 20 seconds. Germicidal soaps are known to kill germs on our hands and body. Hand washing is important so we will not get sick. Here are the questions that you have to answer to check your comprehension. Number 1, why is hand washing important? If your answer is the same as mine, hand washing makes our hands clean, then you're fantastic. How should a germicidal soap be used in hand washing? If your answer, it must stay on our hands for 20 seconds or beyond, very good. Why is there a need to kill germs on our hands? If the reason that you're thinking of is in order for us not to get sick, marvelous. You really understood what you have read. Oh, what text type did we just finish? It was an explanation. An explanation makes clear how or why things are or how things work. You can note significant details on its text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. I think this is a good time that we gauge your learning ability on our lesson for today. I will ask you to get your pen and paper to answer the questions about the text type that we are about to read. A Devotee by Leah Basquinas. Miss Sanchez is a teacher who has devoted her life to teaching children. On weekdays, she teaches at school, and on weekends, she gathers all the neighboring children and teaches them to read, write, and count. One day, the barangay officials noticed the kindness being shown by Miss Sanchez to the children. They decided to go to her house. As they reached Miss Sanchez's house, they were so surprised to see a mini classroom in her garden where the children were learning to count, write, and read. Miss Sanchez was also surprised to see the barangay officials in her house. She hurriedly entertained them. They asked Miss Sanchez if she was willing to be a volunteer teacher in the literacy program of the barangay. Without much hesitation, she accepted being a volunteer teacher in the literacy program. The barangay officials left her house happy. Here are the guide questions for you to answer. Ready? Number 1 question. What is the title of the story? If your answer is a devotee, then you are amazing. The question for number 2 is, who is the author of the story? If you have the answer Leia Basquinas, then hooray! You got it! For number 3 question, who are the characters in the story? If your answer is Miss Sanchez and the barangay officials, then you're right. Number 4 question is, what can you say about each character in the story? If you can describe Miss Sanchez as a devoted teacher and the barangay officials as generous, good job! And for the last number, what is the story all about? If you got the answer, it's about a devoted teacher. Very good. That's the right answer. Great going, children. A narrative tells a story. We can note significant details on its text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. Before our lesson ends, here is one last activity for you to practice on. Have fun and good luck! Read the following text type and note significant details by answering the questions that follow. Write the answers on your answer sheets. Captain Sam Buenafe is a military officer assigned to numerous places in Mindanao. Last December 2012, he and his troop went to the farthest place of Tagum City to assist in the election of a Muslim tribe. And they got to meet a Muslim mother, Tarsila, who was about to give birth. She pleaded with the military troop to help her. The military troop helped her and rushed her to the hospital. The mother gave birth to a son and he was named after Captain Buenafe. Tarsila thanked the military troop. Here are the questions that you have to answer for your comprehension checkup. The first question is, who is Captain Sam Buenafe? The correct answer is, Captain Buenafe is a military officer. For the second question, when did the story happen? The story happened last December 2012. And for the last question, where did the story happen? The story happened in Tagum City. Great! You have now finished our activity. Here is another important note that you have to remember. We just read a recount. A recount retells events or experiences that happened in the past. We can note significant details in its text by reading comprehensively and answering the what, when, where, why, and how questions. There you have it, kids. I hope you had fun in learning our lesson for today. But before I say goodbye, let me leave you with a quote from Margaret Fuller. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. So, if you want to be a great leader, go grab yourself a book.